Thank you, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, I also like to thank the Honourable Kiliraki for this question. It goes to show that he places a lot of importance on reforestation. Madam Speaker, he is correct that in the past 2 years, the replanting has in fact halted at certain times, in fact stopped completely. But also I'd like to point out to the House that prior to this 2 years ago, prior to that, there was a lot of reforestation that took place, in fact, Madam Speaker, which in fact did not occur prior to 2010. So reforestation, in fact, was a deliberate policy effect of the new decree that was put in place. Because reforestation is very much part and parcel of the component, Madam Speaker. If the members would read the decree, they would understand, but unfortunately they don't. Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, this gentleman continues to do this.
You will have opportunity to ask supplementary questions. Please let us hear the Honourable Minister out. Honourable Attorney-General, have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honourable Kiliraki, one of the reasons why it was stopped, the key reason why the reforestation had stopped was because of the low survival rate in the forest. Madam Speaker, there's new technologies now in terms of reforestation. So the traditional methodology was, what used to happen was the actual plants used to be taken out of the pots and actually put directly into the ground. And the survival rate was lower because you can get crowded by weeds. You had to send people out, etc., to look after them. And reforestation fees actually was in fact paid to the landowners, Madam Speaker. What has now happened with these new technologies, which is the silviculture techniques, they'll actually ensure that the survival rate of the mahogany plants that are being replanted will be actually much higher. So what will actually happen now, Madam Speaker, is that these new seedlings, they'll grow up to a particular height, they'll still be taken out in the pots and actually put in the ground. So the survival rate increases. FHCL in its 2016 budget, Madam Speaker, has also put in place the reforestation. The projected area to be replanted equals about 1,240 hectares, from which 1,040 correspond to restocking and 200 hectares of new plantations. The restocking is wherever the timber has been cut, they'll be restocking that there, and there's about 200 hectares of new plantations that will take place, Madam Speaker. Additionally, Madam Speaker, as I highlighted, FHCL will improve the quality and the replanting techniques on 620 acres by the use of potted seedlings raised in the nurseries, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Honourable Kiliraki.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Supplementary question. For a cubic meter of mahogany harvested, there's a $25 levy for reforestation. May I ask the Minister, can he please explain the account of this money, given at the average of about 70,000 cubic meters being harvested every year, which will amount to about 1.7 million. Can you please explain where this money is? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, of course, the question is outside the scope of replanting, but I can also answer the question. The reforestation fees is collected from the license holders, and it is put in a trust with the consolidated fund where it's ring-fenced. All those monies are ring-fenced, and when reforestation does take place, the monies are then used for the reforestation. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable Randrondo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The supplementary question to the Honourable Minister is the current mahogany trees that have been harvested right now is a product of the planting of the Forestry Department. So why is the Forestry Department not directly involved in the replanting programs done by the mahogany company?
Thank you. Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, again, it's a bit outside the scope, but nonetheless, the Honourable Member would know that the then government, the SVT government, transferred the responsibilities of the mahogany forests from Ministry of Forestry to Fiji Hardwood Corporation Limited in 1998. That is the answer.
Thank you. I give the floor to the Honourable Noekulu.
Madam Speaker, the reason given was the low survival rate. The Honourable Minister explained to us why it took 2 years to figure that out.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Honourable Nawaikula would also know that there was hardly any reforestation before 2010, Honourable Member. And of course, I mean, these things need to be given time. You don't just simply put a plant in and go, oh, it's not surviving the next day. It obviously takes time, Madam Speaker, And I'm sure he probably can have a private conversation with the Minister of Forests and the people of Fiji Hydro Corporation, probably give him some lessons on replanting and forestry livelihoods and lives.